Oh, welcome to the Angry Scotsman's Bedtime Stories. You've heard of Goldilocks and Three Bears, but have you heard of Blondie Locks and the Three Grizzly Bears? So, once upon a time, there was a wee girl called Blondie Locks. She was called Blondie Locks because, funny enough, she had blonde hair. And one day, her mum and dada had bought her some new shoes, so she fancied a walk in the local forest. As Blondie Locks was walking through the forest, she was observing everything around her, all the trees, all the birds singing within the trees, and all the noises that you'd get from any forest walk. She was not looking down where she was walking, and she accidentally stood in some poo. She looked down in disgust as she saw poo on her shoes, and Blondie Locks said, "Oh, I've got poo on my new shoes. What am I going to do?" Meanwhile, in the forest, there was a house where three bears lived. Mama bear, a bear, and baby bear. Baby bear turned around to mum and dad and said, "I need a poo." Dada said, "Right, we're going to have to pack up all our stuff and go for a wee walk." Mama bear goes, "Let's make sure we walk far away from the house this time, because we don't know where we live." And the bears went off for a walk to find somewhere to poo. Goldilocks, with poo on her shoe, didn't know what to do. She didn't want to go home and get told off by her mama and dada for ruining her new shoes. So she stumbled across the house, and she thought, I can knock on that door and get my shoes all cleaned up before I go home to my house." As she walked up to the house, she noticed a lot of bear ornaments, and she said, "Oh, this family must like bears." She knocked on the door really, really loudly, but there was no answer. As she knocked harder and harder, the door opened. So Blondilocks decided to go in. Blondilocks went in the house and started shouting, "Is anybody home? Hey, I'm a shoe. I don't know what to do." Blondilocks walked around all the house and could see no sign of anybody being at home. She went upstairs and she went downstairs, looked in every room, and still couldn't see anybody. She thought, everybody must be out. See if I can clean up my shoes myself. She stumbled across a pile of towels, and she thought, I have an idea for me poo on my shoe. Goldilocks started to use the towels to clean the poo off her shoes, and it was a really messy job. She said to herself, "Oh, I'm using all these towels to get this poo off my shoe, and it's still not all coming off. I don't know what to do." Meanwhile, as you could see, there was poo everywhere, all over the floor, all over the towels, and all over the sink. That was disgusting. Meanwhile, the three bears were on their way back to their house after successfully pooing in the forest. Little Bear said, "I feel so much better now, Mama and Dada. After that poo, I had really bad stomach pains." Dada Bear said, "You'll be all right." And Mama Bear said, "I'm so glad we walked this far away from the house into the forest to poo. At least when we get home, we won't smell it." As the three bears approached their house, they could start to smell something really disgusting. And as they burst in through the doors, they see Goldilocks with poo absolutely everywhere. Goldilocks got really scared as the bear shouted at her, "What are you doing with all that poo in our house?" Goldilocks got so scared, he decided to run. As Goldilocks was running away from the house, the three bears decided to chase her. Goldilocks was so scared, she thought that the bears was going to eat her alive. But the bears were screaming at her, "Oi, you, come back! Come back! Don't you run away and leave all that stink in our house. Please come back and have the decency to clean it up. Blondie Locks didn't want to listen to the bears. She was so scared she couldn't even hear what they were saying anyways, and she ran home as fast as she could. As Blondie Locks got home, she was so upset and terrified of her ordeal. She explained to her mama and dada how, as she was walking through the forest, she accidentally stood in two, wearing her new shoes, and she did not know what to do. They explained she stumbled across the three bears' house, not knowing the three bears lived there, and used their fresh clean towels to wipe the poo off the shoe, and then ran home for her life. Her mama and Dara did not believe a word she said, and grounded her for 4 weeks. Back at the bear's house, Blondie Locks had left such a mess that the three bears had to light a fire, burn all the smell of the poo. As they were burning, Mama Bear said, "We must be more careful when we leave the house to go for our own poo." Baby Bear said, "That wee girl has left a lot of stink in our house, Mummy." And Daddy said, "There's nothing more disgusting on this earth than human beings." And they burnt every single towel that Blondie Locks touched. Right, kids, so that is the end of Blondie Locks and the three Grizzly Bears. Just remember, if you get new shoes, don't step in poo. And as the bears say, on earth, there's nothing more disgusting than us human beings. Please like and subscribe, and I'll have another story for you next time.